Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, aliens, frogs, and friends. I'm so delighted you could join me today. I'm Amber Westies, and I have 3 books to tell you about that you can find right here in the San Antonio Library. We all like to read different types of books, right? Well, you're in for a treat today. I have 3 books on the same topic, but 3 different genres. Our topic of the day is World War II, one of my favorites. World War II happened over 70 years ago, from 1939 to 1945. Our books today will get you to travel back in time and journey across the globe. Today's books are Hidden by Loic de Valera, The Green Glass Sea. This one gets me every time, it's such a tongue twister, by Ellen Klaiks, and lastly, Hitler Youth by Susan Bartolletti. Our first book, Hidden by Loic de Valera, is a graphic novel. The French author and illustrator take us all the way back to Paris, France. But don't be scared, all the words are in English. In this book, you'll meet Elsa and her grandmother, Duina. Neither one of them can sleep, so Elsa climbs into Duina's lap for a story. Duina tells her about what life was like growing up in Paris when she was a little girl. Duina was a happy little girl with 2 best friends. But one day, something happens during school. At the end of the day, her crush won't talk to her. Then, when she gets home, her dad tells her they're going to play a game called Sheriffs. So they attach gold stars to their clothes. But then, no one at school will talk to her anymore, and the teachers are really mean. Duina is so confused until she finds out that everyone's being mean because she's Jewish. Duina's mom decides to take her out of school. And at first, Duina thinks it's great. But then one night, the police come to her house. Duina has to hide in the bottom of a wardrobe, which is like a closet. When she finally comes out, her parents are gone, the house is wrecked, and the neighbor has come to get her. Duina has to stay with her neighbor. As Duina is telling this story, Elsa is getting scared. But Duina continues her story. You want to know more? Well, you'll have to check this book out for yourself, and you'll find out if Duina's parents ever return. In Hidden, we learned about World War II from the perspective of a French Jewish girl, but we still have more sides to this war. So on to our next book, The Green Glass Sea by Ellen Klaiks. This book brings us back to the United States. We join Dewey as she travels from St. Louis, Missouri, all the way to Los Alamos, New Mexico, to see and live with her dad. Dewey didn't get to ride in an airplane or drive a car like we do now. Instead, she had to ride the train all by herself. It takes her more than a day to reach her new home. Now, Dewey, she's kind of odd. She loves science and inventing things, so she really doesn't have many friends. But Dewey's getting used to her new home. As she does, she finds out her dad is going to have to go to Washington, D.C. to talk with the president. So Dewey ends up staying with some friends, or some of her dad's friends. All of the parents in Los Alamos, they're working on a secret project that no one talks about, and that's why her dad's going. Dewey ends up living with Suze and her family. Suze does not like Screwy Dewey, but she has to deal with it. As you read this book, you'll get to figure out if the girls can get along and make the best of a not-so-good situation, and you'll also figure out what secret project the parents are working on. In The Green Glass Sea, our realistic fiction book, we learn more about World War II from the point of view of an American girl. But there's still one more side that we get to learn about today. So we travel back all the way to Europe, Germany specifically, to learn about Hitler Youth. This book is by Susan Campbell Bartolletti, as I said before. Now, this book is nonfiction and informational, but don't let it scare you. You'll learn some new facts about World War II. Miss Bartolletti, the author, she writes in story form, so it's not like your textbooks. This book will tell you all about the children and teenagers who supported Hitler and the Nazis. Now, Hitler and the Nazis, they were the bad guys during the war, so we're going to learn what it was like for them as children and teenagers growing up during the war. We'll learn what they believed, what they experienced, and you'll also find out about some teenagers who didn't like what Hitler said. Hitler knew that youth, or children and teenagers, were very, very important to World War II and to his cause. But what was it like for them? As you read the book, you will get to find out. But remember, you are important too, just like Hitler knew. But let's make a better choice than what they did. These books only scratch the surface of World War II. We didn't even talk about the fight against Japan. But I think these books will excite you and make you want to learn more. Each book takes you to a new place to learn about the world from the eyes of different children in different places on different sides of the battle. Don't forget, all these books can be checked out at the San Antonio Library, and I can help you also find other books about World War II. Happy reading!